And then, so can you talk about your first day at Vayner?
Yeah. I was thinking this like question almost would come up, so I was thinking about it a little bit. It's a very weird day. It's funny. I was at VaynerMedia. This was a Monday, but I was at VaynerMedia on the Friday before with like like one of the clients that I had been working with, and that was funny because I was gonna be there like no matter what. And Andy had hit me up 3 days earlier. That's how quick it was. It was 3 days prior. It was basically like, okay, like we're giving you a shot. And I was like, I'm gonna be at the office anyways. And he's kind of like dumbfounded. He's like, all right. And then I met up with him in Gary's office. He's like, yep. He's like, we'll see you Monday. Like, let's just do this thing. And I'm like, all right. First day, I walk in and I got there really early. I was sitting in the kitchen at like 6:30, and there's like no one there, which is hilarious. And then like fast forward to like 9:30, I'm like, I think I messaged Andy, and he's like, "Oh, you're in the kitchen," and he comes and gets me, and I kind of just popped down at a desk, and this was right at the heat of Trash Talk, like Trash Talk 2, and I don't know who asked me to do it, but some way or another, they're like some people need to get trash talk, like to get the trash talk stuff out of G's car, and they're like Jason. I went with Dustin, and I think Max. Max is another. He's an admin on our team now. He
Max
wasn't.
Brown?
Not Max Brown. Max
Oh,
Freed. He's like the third admin now, which is incredible because he was definitely not that kind of position back then. But either way, my first like 20 minutes, like, or 10 minutes officially like in it, they're like, go get the trash truck stuff. We take like the shaft elevator down, walk out to the street, like under like the High Line. Gary gets out, like he just like dapped us all up. I was like, okay, this is awesome, like great, like like nice to meet you, G. And then we just brought like bags of like stuffed animals and mugs and stuff back up, and that's so funny looking back because my only expectation of what my job entails is you have two daily V's this week to make, and like I'm not even an intern. I'm like freelance. They're like, okay, like Gary like hired you, quote unquote. Let's see if like you're actually good. And Andy was basically like, yeah, you're gonna make the daily V's this week, which is kind of a daunting task, like going
mhm.
straight in. But I also have like this other expectation of like, oh, I might be doing anything, and sure enough, like the first 10 minutes of job, I'm like bringing up like trash talk stuff, which is so funny. Um, and then basically like that day was like it was like any first day. It was like here's our laptop, and I'm like, I really don't need it, like let me just start cooking on mine. um Stuff like that. There was no proper orientation when I went, which was funny. Like there was, I think it was the following day. Like I was sitting in orientation, and it was just they were just going off about like just regular VaynerMedia policy and stuff. And I wasn't rude or anything, but I turned to the HR guy, who I'm definitely friendly with now. I was like, listen, I gotta go edit a daily B, or I'm not gonna be here. Like, I was like, and I literally left. I was like, listen, I already have a laptop. Like, I understand it. Like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I need to go edit. Like, I'm like, has to be published tomorrow. I'm like, I gotta push this out. So that was the next day. But the first day was actually, I'm sorry, I'm totally like blowing the first day. The whole day goes on. I probably downloaded the footage. I'm probably like creating like a base layer to this vlog. I think I filmed some B-roll in Gary's office because basically they're like, here's, I don't know, a folder of footage from whatever day it was. I forget, because they were like 2 months backlog. They're like, here's this folder, make a daily V. And the footage that day was just like very jumbled. There was no story to it, not a lot of sustenance to it at all, which sucked. Because you don't want to, like, this is like I'm being graded on this almost, and it's I'm getting luck of the draw. But I filmed some B-roll in Gary's office, and that was like the first time, like, I don't know, like I don't know, I guess incorporated B-roll from a different day or something, and I included like cinematic bars, and like I remember people were like bugging about that when I first dropped that first vlog, which is so funny. But later, to wrap up this entire first day, it was like 8:30, and I'm still there because I'm in it. I'm like, I'm gonna work late. I'm gonna work late hours, like no matter what. And I get a text from like Caleb the first day, and they're like, "Hey," he's like, "Hey," it was like, I think it was a group chat with me, Caleb, and D Rock, and he's like, "Can you film G at like 10:30 tonight?" And I was like, and he doesn't know if I can film or not. Like he knows me a little bit, and I was like, "Yeah." I'm like, I definitely can. He's like, okay, he's gonna be at this restaurant. He's gonna be meeting with Mike Boyd and a rapper, and I think it was uh, a little baby. Maybe it's, basically an up and coming rap artist who's definitely relevant. I know he's going like Rolling Loud in New York. So um, basically, I met G at the on my first day at this restaurant, and he's there early. He's sitting with I think a VaynerMedia client, and I walk in and I instantly like go to just hand him the mic, and he's like no, relax. He's like this is my client. He's like Jason, whatever, like introduction. He's like sit down. He's like want anything? We're at a bar, and I'm like no, I'm like I'm good. He's like no, grab it, please grab it here. He's like go sit down. He's like I'm gonna finish this conversation. He's like and then the next beat's coming up, and I was like okay, and I don't know. I just like sat at the bar for like maybe like half hour, drank a beer. uh, Rap artist comes in, Mike Boyd comes in, and basically just filmed that meeting. It was never published. It was kind of like loud in there, and I don't think like we don't always publish the hip hop meetings, but it was interesting. Like actually, Gary brought me over during his client meeting. He's like Jason. He's like come over here. He's like tell like my client like how you got in here because he kind of heard the story. Like I mean he basically like was like yo in 40s like you're hired. Um, all in all, it was a very very different kind of first day. Like I haven't experienced uh, a beer at the bar with Gary since. So it was very interesting to say the least.